ready are we to meet a couple of wackos? Because anything to do with Mithya, and the first thing that I think of is, oh, what a bunch of wackos. I mean, they play mind games and they themselves have problems in their heads. And then, especially this young lady sitting here, I mean, when I look at her, I just wonder, are you okay in real life? Because she's just so convincing in her head all the time. And then she's playing Huma, who plays Juhi, and who I think Neil, who's no longer in the series. And I mean, the way you play mind games, it was very convincing. So convincing that I want to know, do people really think you're wacko?
Thank you so much, first of all, for that. I think that's such a amazing compliment to have. Being my first project to play something that's as crazy as Ria is, and to be appreciated in that format. So much so that I had family and friends growing up with me turning around and asking me, "Is there things about you that we don't know?" After watching that.
Right.
And started doubting if I really am a little too wild on the other side. But I think no, all pretty much sane up here so
Okay.
far.
So you're happy with the debut you've made?
Sorry.
You're happy with the debut you made?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, look at this amazing team. Of course, I'm thrilled to be a part
Yes,
of
but
this.
what about the fact that it was a very unconventional debut?
Doesn't that make it more exciting?
It should.
Right? More
Yes.
memorable, something more to sort of make me stand out because there's such great talent. There's so many shows, movies. How can I be more memorable and sort of make myself and position myself in this industry?
Make
I
your
think-
presence felt.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Huma, I wanted to ask you. You and Parambrata and the others in the cast, they're all people who've done a lot of work earlier. So, what was it like working with this new girl?
I I mean, it was amazing. अवंतिका तूने कितने पैसे खिलाए हैं? हाँ, सिर्फ तेरी तारीफ हो रही है. No, it was really wonderful working with her. I think, what I love about Avantika is that she's just so committed to doing her best. And even if you feel like there's not a lot of like experience, but like her drive to give her best shot, it just never kind of falters. And in season 2 as well, I think she really tried to even outdo herself in season 1. So I think if you loved her in season 1, you will love her even more in season 2.
She was not intimidated by all of you.
I tried my best. I'm a bit of a bully.
Exactly.
And I think that's the best way to be on a film set, because otherwise, if everyone's just too serious and like no creative work can happen. Like, I'm a very serious advocate of the fact that you need to have a lot of fun and you need to be able to like pull each other's leg so that you can do anything creative. So I think I didn't uh, let her miss her brother or anyone else back home.
Okay. What is it that drew you to this kind of psychological thriller? Because
The money.
the money, Goldie.
Great script, to be honest. So when actually Goldie had approached me with it, and it's the remake of a very, very popular, the first season, British show, and it's called Cheat.
Cheat.
And he sent me a bunch of episodes. I saw it, and then he was like, "Don't watch the rest of it. Just see the first couple of episodes, and then we want to take that idea of plagiarism and adapt it to India." And then, of course, I read the first season, and I absolutely fell in love with it.
Well, Cheat is going. The second season is not going to be anything like Cheat because Cheat doesn't have a second season.
Correct.
So it's something that's going to be totally original, isn't it? So how did you come up with this second season?
Well,
Meaning you didn't have a template to. Take.
no, good evening, everybody. Thank you for having us here. Yes, it was, well, we have the same characters going forward, you know. So naturally, how they would progress, you know. So me along with my co-creator in India, Priya, we got down to it with the team in Applause, with Deepak and Samir sir. And we came up with a whole bunch of ideas of how these characters can proceed ahead. And finally, zero down on a storyline which I'm not allowed to reveal about because it's a suspense thriller. But yes, as Huma said, it is far more crazier in that sense, or wacko in your words. So we're all a little bit more wacko in this season.
Everybody's more wacko. Okay.
Yes, and this time everybody is.
Yeah, they're all very mentally disturbed people in some way or the other. And you also, I don't know when you started work on your second season, but you ended your first season with the door open for a second season,
Yeah, that's the point.
isn't it?
Everyone lives in hope.
Okay.
उम्मीद पे दुनिया कायम है.
It's, Samir, what is it that drew you to this psychological thriller? Why did you want to back it? When Goldie came to you with it?
No, he came to me.
Oh, you came with it.
When
Okay.
we saw the first one, it was the original is an interesting story and
Cheat.
set in this world of academia and but more than just it's not just a psychological thriller. It's about human beings.
Yes.
It's about siblings. It's about sisters, and it's about their father. And when you say wacko or crazy or whatever, actually all of us are like that. So in leading our everyday lives, we just society makes us conform.
Yeah.
And what we can do in shows like this is we can allow characters to not conform and do really crazy things.
Right.
So I think what's good about shows like this is that it allows people who are watching to have that vicarious, voyeuristic pleasure of seeing actually how crazy a Riya can be and how intense a Juhi can be.
Yeah.
And actors like this really take it the distance.
Yeah.
So I think that was the plan. And actually what we've done now in season 2 is because we ended on such an interesting note that now we have, working together, created a brand new story.
Yeah, you've got a
You
kid
know,
also on the scene now.
because there is no second season. So we've made what we think. Where does all this go?
Yeah.
So we have a worldview where it goes, and hopefully, Manish, if it all goes well, we
Yeah.
will see where it goes further from here.
Because when you have a kid on the scene, it makes it even scarier.
Yeah.
You do really. And when you have a kid on the scene, it makes it even scarier.
You didn't get the non-disclosure agreement, did you? You're supposed to sign a piece of paper. We're not supposed to drop these things.
Excuse me, it was there in the first season, end of the first season. End of season.
But you don't
one.
know what happens, na? Maybe that's not the track.
But I don't know what your track is. I'm talking as someone who's only seen the season one. Yeah. Where does Z5 come in? When did you come in?
I came in to give them the money.
To give them the money. So who
So
gave
he's
the
our
money
favorite
to
person
Huma?
on this stage,
So
guys.
one second,
Everyone.
This is our favorite person on this
who
stage.
gave the money to Huma? Was it Goldie? Was it Samir? Or was it you?
Okay, so it goes like that. The
Acha, it
circle
goes
goes
like
like
this.
that.
Then by the time it comes to you, it'll be a trickle.
Not at all, actually.
But on a serious note, I think season 1 did a very good job for us.
Right.
The characters were well developed by everyone between Huma, Avantika. They nailed it. And it was important for us to bring the next level. Like you said, making them crazier, wackier, and more darker, and bringing out the layers of each character in a much more strong way. I think that's what season 2 is going to do for the audience, and we are all excited about it. And Sameer already asked me subtly, season 3 ka door bhi thoda sa khula rakha, which we'll figure as this comes in, but that's where we are.
And when are you going to start streaming?
Oh yeah, very soon. Have you announced the date yet? 1st of November, we will kind of bring it to the
So
audience.
it's just round the corner.
Yeah, it's right around the corner, and we're looking forward to it. I think each character is behaving in a very different way. If you've seen season 1,
Yes, I have.
she's
Otherwise, I
like
wouldn't be
completely
asking
gone
these
dark.
questions.
Ria's character's gone dark. Juhi is like going to fight it all out, and this boy is the new one. Amit is a new
Yes,
kid on the
yes.
block, and he adds a lot of color to the stories. So super excited about it.
Okay. Naveen, how did you react when you were approached to do the second season? Had you seen the first season?
Yeah, of course I've seen the first season. I was very happy. I mean,
झूठ मत बोलो.
no, अरे मैं तो
What were you happy about doing the
Yeah.
show, working with us, working with Mr. Sameer Nair, Mr. Goldie Behel, Mr. Manish Z?
no,
That's your
Or,
favorite bits.
yeah,
Or
who
the
did
money.
you like?
Or the money.
Avantika or me?
no, I was quite happy about. See, I want to be part of different worlds, and I've not really gone to hills and shot things. Mostly, my work has been limited to indoors and
So he wanted to go to
corporate setup.
Darjeeling.
Yeah, he took me to Darjeeling.
He wanted a
Okay.
free trip to
He's
Darjeeling.
in
Just
your
wanted to
That's
go to
what
series
happened.
because he wanted to go to Darjeeling.
Did you read the script or
No,
it
no,
said
no,
exterior
Darjeeling-
Darjeeling, I'm
He's like,
on?
"Haan, okay,
Darjeeling,
chal."
Darjeeling was one of the reasons, but the role, the script, the production house,
The money.
co-actors, I think everything played a part, and yeah, I mean that's why I did it, and I
Played a part to get you on, but would you stay on?
played a part in me deciding that
Yes, to get you on, but would you choose to stay on?
of course, I would want them to make season 3, and I would want to be part of it. Yeah.
Okay. So what did you enjoy when you once you started shooting? What did you enjoy about it? Apart from your co-actors.
See, I've not done anything like this in the past.
Okay.
So I'll be very honest, it's the role that excites me the most. I feel the suspense Goldie sir is talking about. I'm part of that suspense that we cannot reveal right now. So, and I've not played such things. So that was the most exciting part. And of course, getting to work with Huma Qureshi was also,
Go on.
it also played a significant part in
Okay.
exciting me. Yeah.
Right. Do you do anything even more scary than you did in the first part? I mean, whenever you came on the scene, one didn't know क्या करने वाली है ये.
Definitely. That was just sort of the door opening. This is the whole roller coaster ride. So yeah, you haven't seen anything yet. You've just been introduced to Riya Rajguru. Now you get acquainted with her.
Okay. Huma, I wanted to ask you, you play the mature professor and she plays the student who's obviously got problems and she's playing you and you get played. Knowing that she's playing you, you get played. How did you take that? I mean, how did you go about that whole character? I mean, knowing you're getting played and still getting played.
Well, that was the script.
Yeah.
So I don't know how to answer that, but I think it was just the character. I think just because somebody is a professor, it's very presumptuous to say that all professors are smart. Not all professors are smart. Some professors can also get, I don't know, tricked or waylaid. For me, I think what really drew me to this script was the fact that how complex, nuanced, and flawed Juhi Adhikari was. That she wasn't perfect. Like, she seemed like this person with the perfect life, the perfect husband, the perfect job, very well-to-do, very well-spoken, a great career, very from the world of academia, but yet had a lot of like skeletons in her cupboard and a
And
kind
her own
of
hormonal problems.
her own hormonal, mental, spiritual, domestic issues, her own issues with her father, and how she was supposedly the golden child, but then she had to sort of match up to who the father was, and she always kind of failed in that sense. And of course, eventually realized, which is at the end of season 1, that they actually, it's not just a simple professor-student relationship. They are in fact half sisters. And that is what makes this relationship so like volatile
Complex.
and complex and crazy.
Very edgy.
Very edgy,
Yeah,
yes.
very edgy. Yeah. Goldie, do you get drawn to psychological thrillers when you're looking around, scouting around for? When you and Sameer talk, are you looking around for things that are,
No, I mean, definitely it makes very. I mean, I personally get drawn towards content that is going to keep the audience engaged all through the episode and through the entire season. Now, whether that's a psychological thriller or a romance or a comedy, that's immaterial and that's secondary. The first thing is to be engaged with the material, and if I am engaged with the material when I'm seeing it or reading it, and then subsequently making it, then the chances of the audience getting engaged with it becomes far more greater. And that's what you want. You want the audience to get engaged, finish an episode, go to the next one, and then wait for the next season for a couple of years. So, I mean, that's the reason. I mean, when Sameer told me about the show that he would like to adapt, and he sent it to me to watch, and I was really, really drawn towards it because I'd never seen a thriller, a psychological thriller set with these righteous characters, and as we believe, professors are, especially in our society, are closer to, guru and, bhagwan jaise hote hain, almost like doctors, professors and all that. But to see this kind of a darker underbelly of the intellectuals and the, academia, and Huma very rightly said that, there is, while Avantika's character is very obviously grey and dark, it's the nuances that Huma's character Juhi carries, and I think that's what makes it even more interesting, and that's what elevates even Avantika's character, so I think that balance is, very, very, critical, and and especially, the way Huma has played season 1 and season 2, there's a lot of grace that she brings into it, and that's the first thing I saw when I saw season 1. I told her, I said, you're so graceful, and there's so much of lilt, in the way you performed season 1. And then you'll see the way as an artist how she has, in a sense, degenerated in season 2, and it's a very interesting, nuanced watch, even for academic purposes, if you're studying performance, So yeah, I mean, to answer your question, anything that is engaging is very, very, engaging to me. I'm hoping it's engaging to the audience.
As a production house and also as a channel, do you find the audience very responsive to psychological thrillers?
Well, I don't know about psychological thrillers. I think audiences, the good thing about audiences in the last 7-8 years now is that thanks to all the streamers, they've been exposed to so many different kinds of content, and they have taken to all of that. So in a sense, the audience has evolved more than us. And so we as creators are now trying to catch up with them because they are smarter than us. They see everything, they know everything. They have a better appreciation of the stories we tell. They get things faster. They can see a plot twist coming from a mile away. They are smarter. We don't see as much as they do. So I think there's accepting of a lot more things, which is good, which is what allows us to tell stories like this. So, like 10 years back, this might have been a crazy story to even consider, but now it becomes a thing that is quite, acceptable. Yeah. And as Goldie says, set in a very different world, and a story of two very different people. I've often thought the parallel to the Juhi Rhea story is like the Batman and the Joker. Yeah. The Joker just wants to see the world burn, and the Batman is doing whatever it can to stop the Joker, but the Batman is no saint either. The Batman is grey and crazy themselves. So it makes for a very interesting parallel, but with two ladies in Darjeeling in a school or college. Yeah. So I think it's nice. And people like this kind of stuff.
There was a lot of detailing I noticed, even Huma's saris, for instance. She's wearing a plain sari and there's a little work only on the blouse.
I mean, I trust you to notice the saris because she's in such beautiful saris all the time. So yeah, thank you.
Which Goldie should tell us.
Yeah, you should tell us.
The placement of the... So I have to share this anecdote with you. I think season 1, our first look test, I walked in and I met so many people from Rose and Applause and everyone. They were like, we have been working so hard on your look. The placement of the Juhi flower on the blouse. I was like, I got so intimidated. I was like, what? Because I think as actors, sometimes you're also used to changing your look or being but I think everybody was so invested in Juhi's look far more, and with this one I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna go with whatever you guys think. And in fact, if the colors of season 1 were very pastels and pinks and peaches for the season itself, this one has a more autumny, almost wintry kind of a feel to it, and I think that just makes visually the show so beautiful. How those sort of spring, summer colors almost get into an autumny winter thing. So more styles for you to choose from.
Yash Chopra, before he zeroed in on Madhuri's look for Dil To Pagal Hai, he did 55 changes with Manish Malhotra and Madhuri. 55 changes before he zeroed in on that one salwar kameez that he gave her. So I think it works to, kind of give it that kind of detailing. Yeah, it really, everything, it's a package. I also noticed you had a very interesting structure. Every episode starts off with the two girls. At the beginning, you don't even know who's on which side of the bars. In the sense, you don't know whether she's behind bars or Juhi's behind bars. So that was interesting until it kind of unfolds. So have you kind of stuck to that kind of structure here? Now you can't because they got out.
Because
Yeah.
So season 2 hasn't got that structure in place, although it does have a cold open and it doesn't have an epilogue. But it's not necessarily as complicated and complex as season 1. In season 1 was also about setting up the characters and setting up the world. You know, in season 2 we've got a lot more story to tell, and it's a far more fast moving, more plot driven series this time. So unfortunately, we didn't get that opportunity to do that whole black and white and all that kind of stuff because we've already done that in season 1. So season 2 has a much more fresher approach in that sense. So we divided it into 3 timelines, like you've seen, you know. And I mean, part of it was from the original, and then we just grew on that and adapted it a little bit more in the Indian version.
How come you didn't direct it yourself? Because you're a director yourself.
I was doing multiple projects, and Huma preferred Rohan and Kapil, so we took them.
That is not true.
But you changed your director. Last time you had Rohan.
Yes, last season was directed by Rohan Sipri. This season directed by Kapil
Sharma. So you
Sharma.
were not happy with Rohan?
No, he was busy with Sameer's project only. In fact, the dates got shifted, so then we lost Rohan's dates, and fortunately enough,
we still requested him to direct season 2, and he still refused. I don't know what the reason for that was.
No.
They must have had a fight.
Huh? Who? What?
I'm joking.
He was just busy doing other things.
No. I'm doing multiple projects, so it's I mean it's better if a director does one thing at a time and focuses on that.
Totally. So has the transition from Rohan to Kapil been seamless?
Pretty good.
Because it's a different season. It's
a different season. It's a different hand, you know. Of course there are different in approaches as far as the staging of the scenes go and stuff like that. But overall, it's the same makers behind it. So there's applause on us. There's Priya and me who've show-run it together. And I had a very clear look in mind, and the scripts and stuff like that. So in a series, it's far more collaborative than in cinema. I think that really helps the filmmaker also, the director as well, because he has to go out there and he or she has to go out there and shoot 300, 400 minutes. So it's a lot of work for one person to do. So the more the hands, the better it is. But definitely the execution is much different from season 1. This season 1 was far more atmospheric. This season is much more pacier and rapid, and a lot more twists and turns.
So maybe having a new director also brings it a certain freshness.
Absolutely, it does. Yeah. Not to say that Rohan wouldn't have got a new freshness to it, but yes, definitely everything that happens for the best. And we're happy that we got Kapil on. He comes with a different sensibility. Somebody who understands this world, but at the same time has a different sensibility. Comes from a different school of filmmaking than Rohan does. Right. So it's all worked out. Touch well. And I'm guessing Manish is happy with our work.
Yeah, are you?
I mean, the last check has come, so he must be happy now.
He's already talking about season 3, so he must be happy.
I am not. I was told to talk.
It's called auto-suggestion.
Naveen, how much edginess do you bring to your character?
How much what?
Edginess.
Well,
because
actually, I was also
edgy in this.
No, I was also just sticking to the script.
Okay.
So whatever was written, I was just trying to follow.
So
that.
do you have an edgy character?
Yes, I mean.
I know you can't reveal too much. You're an aspiring author in it, from what I heard.
Everybody's pretty edgy in the show. I feel it's very difficult to gauge what their intentions are. So I hope I'm also adding to the mystery, and I'm that's what I feel.
Add to the mystery.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Okay.
Well, definitely, Naveen. The reason to cast Naveen was you get the unexpected from him. The casting. He's so popular, especially on OTT. And with the stuff that he's done, it's done so well. So fortunately, unfortunately for him, he has a certain image. So it was great to screw around with that image a little bit. And break it a little bit, but then you twist it and then you twist it again. So everything is twisted.
Okay. So the word here is twisted, the key word.
Definitely. I think that's the interesting part is like everyone said, like everybody in the show has a grey shade to them, and that's how we as humans are. You know, that's what is interesting about the story, and I think attracted all of us to it is that you're not looking at black and white characters, you're looking at grey, which is a very real thing. You know, all of us have some of those sort of childhood traumas or issues that we're dealing with that make us who we are, you know.
But there's a
that
very
shape
interesting
us.
line that comes from Juhi, where she says, "Don't make your circumstances or your, don't make that the excuse for murder or for bad behavior." And that's also true, isn't it? I mean, okay, circumstances make you what you are, but you can also make something of the circumstances.
It's not about whether it's good or bad, it's just true, right? Circumstances do that to people. The idea would be to not let it do that, but the reality is that people get affected by it. Yeah,
some
people get affected by
succumb
it, and
to
people
it.
do live
Yeah.
with it, and they make bad decisions because of it a lot of times.
Yeah. True. Did any of you, when you were working in it, all three of you, take home any of that edginess, or did you leave it on the set?
You mean like did we start going like killing a few people back
Killing
home?
a few
No.
people, or
No dead bodies in my
manipulating-
backyard.
Huma didn't take it
no
past cut.
manipulating people.
Forget home. She didn't take it past cut.
Okay.
This like the director would call cut and Huma would be, who wants to play 21 questions? Okay, खाना क्या है आज? लाओ, कहाँ जा रहे हैं आज खाने के लिए?
Okay.
So yeah, that was definitely not taken home.
I think with Avantika, you know, when she came on season 1 especially, she was very like, I'm going to be focused and I'm going to be in this zone. And I think she done all these workshops and she was in this whole like American method thing. And I mean, I don't necessarily have a particular method. I'm a very on and off actor. So I'm like, okay, now on, like I feel it's a job, I do it and then I'm out of it.
Okay.
Like I don't necessarily need to be like whatever. So I think I had made it my mission to like just in between
Break
takes,
me.
just break her a little bit, just for masti. But see, it made you a better actor. Also,
Doubts
I'd like
on
to
that.
believe.
No doubts on that.
What was it like for you actually? This was your first film and major role. So how did that, was it so intense that you carried it back home with you? I'm not saying you went around murdering people, but you know, a little bit of that irritation or that,
No, I don't.
anger with the world.
No, none of that at all. I think the only interesting bit is that I became a lot more comfortable and maybe a little more impulsive for a bit. Also, being around such seasoned actors like Huma, Parambrata, Rajit sir, all of them just taught me so much and just made me a lot more confident as a person and as an actor. So, apart from being Ria, it was also playing Ria around these people, you know, and being able to share screen space with them and have a character that's so strong stand up to them.
What was the reaction of people to your, after the season came out? What was the reaction of people? I mean, did a lot more filmmakers come to you? Were there a lot more offers? Or were there a lot of recognition from the public?
So,
How did it change you?
interestingly, the first 3 offers that I got right after Mithya released was doctor who wants revenge and goes kill someone, ghost who wants revenge and wants to kill someone, girlfriend who wants revenge and wants to kill someone, right after Mithya.
काफी range था वैसे.
From doctor to girlfriend.
So,
But वो होता है. I think what tends to happen, sorry not to interrupt what you're saying, but I think that tends to happen. People, I guess, tend to put you in a box. Like if you're good at something, then you tend to get offered like similar kind of parts. Like when I had done Gangs of Wasseypur, I remember doing an interview like this with a journalist and they were like, अरे आप तो बड़ी अच्छी अंग्रेजी में बात करते हैं. तो मैंने कहा हाँ मतलब I'm probably more educated than you are, but thank you for the compliment, because they assume that that's all that is that you can do.
But and Maharani was another one. You have been actually having different strong roles, isn't it?
I think it's just an exciting time, right? Not just in India but globally. Like I think streaming has changed things for so many people, and it's a great time for storytellers, makers, actors, artists. Today, like we have the ability to tell really great stories which are so specific, like a show like Mithya, a series like Maharani, you know. I mean, And I've gotten so much love for it. Like Mithya's in season 2, Maharani's now going to, next year will start, inshallah, season 4. And it's just so exciting to be able to like have like a story that people relate to, and then they want to know uh, what happens to those characters because they're so invested in it. And I think as an actor, it's so amazing that you have that kind of love. Is it time? What? बोल सकते हैं ना?
हाँ बोल
हाँ.
सकते हैं.
मुझे लगा बोल रहे कि अच्छा अभी हो गया. बोल लो.
नहीं नहीं
बोर नहीं हो रहे ना? फिर ठीक है.
नहीं नहीं कुछ लोग तो बात कर रहे हैं बीच
तो
में. हाँ.
आप पूछ लो.
हाँ, नहीं नहीं. Do you find that people are coming to you with offers because of Maharani and Mithya? Do you find people come to you only when there is a very strong role? They're no longer coming to you with a...
No, I don't know. I think I'm doing a mixed array of stuff to just focus on doing things where only your character shines or the whole thing is very boring. Like I feel even Mithya, we have such a strong ensemble and 2 of them are sitting over here. But apart from that, also we have some really really strong actors, and I feel like I really like working with other strong actors because then you also tend to shine. It's very boring just to be like, oh, this is only my story. But I feel it's also refreshing and nice because for far too long, like, women have been asked to just play accessory parts. And now I feel finally there are so many great performances in terms of film and series where they are the prime mover of the piece and not just an appendage to the hero's journey. So that's like a really great space to be in. And I think thanks to shows like Mithya and Maharani and Monica and everything else that I'm doing on OTT, because I'm just getting to play such a variety of characters, and perhaps I don't know, if it was just film, maybe I would not have so many options or like a variety of options.
I wanted to ask all 3 of you actually, Sameer, Goldie, and Manish, when you're putting together a show, how much does the actor matter to you? I mean, does it have to be an actor?
Good question.
The plot matters, the story matters a lot. So while we were talking, biggest challenge for us right now is to pick the right plot with the right stories and the right characters and ensure that there are right kind of creative minds behind it, from a director to a DOP to everyone. And then the casting. So it's very important that, hey, you develop the entire plot, everything is set in place. Then we pick that, hey, Huma is the one who can do Juhi the best, or Avantika can fit in Ria's part. So I think that's what matters. But definitely, to answer your question, not taking away from the actors, any other actor could have ruined it, for that matter. And that's what matters. So if you get the right character with the right actor, that's the solid combo that we always look for. And internally, I'm sure my team is here, there's a lot of debate on who to pick, how to pick, who fits in well, what kind of characteristics do we bring in. And a lot of times the people get typecasted, and sorry for that, but that happens. Even in the audience mind, even in the producers or the platform's mind. So we try and look for, hey, if I'm looking for a strong lady who can change things, that's the one. Whether it's Maharani or for that matter, Tarla, for us did really well, wherein for us, it's always the character. So also, while we were talking, for us as a platform, we realized that a lot of women-centric strong characters who are breaking barriers are doing very well as a platform. People like to see women. People like to see people, strong characters who can change the things, control things, get things sorted, whether it was Tarla or Chatriwali. We did a lot of women-centric stories last year. I think that the trend continues. Also from consumers' perspective, again, I always think consumer backward because that's my job. They are always looking for stories with intrigue. They're looking for how the character unfolds, how the world develops, how will she tackle that situation, or how will she create more trouble. I think that's what keeps them hooked. And for that matter, how do we start an episode or how do we end an episode? And what happens in every 7 to 8 minutes will define how emotionally or how connected the audience is. For us, the engagement, the way we measure success is how many people watched end to end. Super important, because otherwise people are dropping off after like 2nd episode or 3rd episode. It's not done well. He's not going to get another season. So that's how things work out. But yeah, things are going
And
up.
how important is the actor for you? I mean, I know they have to go according to the plot and the character, etc. But does little bit of this celebrity stardom also figure? Because now somebody like Huma is a star on OTT. So does it help to have her more than a newcomer in
Uma's
that
a star everywhere.
role?
No, actually, I think Manish pretty much nailed it. As in, it always starts with the story and what we are putting together, the story and the characters and how it all plays out. And then we obviously, look to cast the best possible people for that. In this case, I think we can safely say that Huma is, Goldie is very specific choice, and Ria was mine.
Yeah.
So, it was in that manner. But yeah, I think it's like picking.
So
And
either stardom doesn't matter?
no, stardom obviously matters, because in a sense, what happens is that a recognizable face anyway draws an audience. But what it does is it draws, that's why you put the star on the poster. So then it draws audiences to go into the theater or to switch on to see it.
Right.
But after that, it's got to be the story and the character and the performance and all of that.
Also,
Totally.
Bharti, the stars add a lot of marketing value. So people know कि Huma है तो काम ठीक ही किया होगा. We can watch it because she has credibility in the story. So that adds a lot of marketing pull. I think to top it up with whatever you said, that's important as well.
Okay. We have time to ask a quick question from the audience. Anybody want to ask a question? Please.
Hi, my question is to Huma ma'am. So Huma ma'am, you have started you're one of the first actors who has done Leela in 2017. So what's the big change you have seen in OTT from then to now? I think you are one of the few stars who have literally started it, and now it's 2024. So what's one major change you think which has come?
Thank you for noticing and acknowledging. Means a lot because when I remember when I did Leela, it was a very difficult decision because a lot of people at that point in time were advising me कि don't do OTT because लगेगा लोगों को तुम्हारे पास picture नहीं है. It was not seen the cool thing that it is to become today. And I think what has happened also that thanks to conditions like COVID have sort of hastened that process. Today on your phone, or ghar pe, you can watch content from all over the world. Today you can watch a film like Tarla in any part. You can watch it in the US, you can watch it in the UK, and I think that's incredible. I think for me, I'm enjoying the space a lot because I feel India especially is such an exciting place. Like we are not only at this important juncture where we can make very, very local content for international consumptions because I think globally content has become very territory agnostic. So people are really interested in our stories, our culture, our folklore, true crime, whatever it could be. And I find that very, very exciting. How can we, because streaming, like today you go to the US and people have seen a film that I've done, like a double XL, which back in the day would not have been possible because a theater would not have played a film like that. So I feel it's really making the world much smaller. I know it's a cliche line, but it really is because we don't really have to try as harder. We just have services where you can watch all those things. You can have the biggest blockbuster playing right next to like an indie small budget film, and it depends on you, the consumer, what you want to click, what you want to watch, and how long you want to watch it. And that really makes the process of making content and watching it so much more democratic.
Also, one more thing. Will we ever get Leela season 2?
That's a question for Netflix.
Okay.
One more question? Yeah, the lady there.
Hi ma'am, hi sir. My question to y'all was have y'all had any withdrawals after shooting a movie or any series? If you've had some, what are the worst traumas that you faced, like any withdrawals that you faced?
That's for you actors.
They can also answer, na? It'd be like, अच्छा हुआ खत्म हो गया. No, it happens, yeah. I don't know, can I answer? You want to go? You want to answer that? मैं ही बोलूँ.
मेरे हिसाब से, most of the times it's not because of the role, but sometimes the kind of people you've worked with, you feel little traumatic. And yeah, sometimes it becomes difficult to come out of that trauma. Like I remember once I shot for something for 2 months, and I just wanted to, end it ASAP. And I was planning a trip for the longest time, and I couldn't do it. But during the shoot of that show, I booked my tickets, and as soon as it got over, I left the country for. So it's not.
I think she wanted a positive story. Like, did you miss those people and like, and I think a nicer story.
yeah,
See, we love Naveen because he just says like the weirdest things at the weirdest time. Case in point, she wanted a story. Did you miss the people? So a story about like, oh, we were such a family, and then you missed them. Would have been a nicer story at this point in time.
मैंने उल्टा सुना दिया.
Okay, I have an opposite story of that. But actually, the first season shooting Mithya, I remember, obviously, it was my first set, and I was probably one of the youngest. I was the youngest actor for sure. And all of them kept telling me constantly, they're like, do not get used to this set. This is a really good set. You're going to have a good time, but this is not how all your career is going to go. And I remember, especially Huma, constantly telling me, she's like, you're going to go to your next set, you're going to cry, and you're going to call me, and you're going to tell me, I miss you guys so much, and these people are terrible. this is literally the kind of wishes she had.
We really pampered her on that set.
So yeah, Mithya was genuinely such a piece of all of our hearts, and we had so much fun shooting that. That's why the moment Sir called us and said that, okay, Mithya 2 is happening, we're like, on. We don't know what the story is, we don't know what's going to happen, we don't know what the dates are, but we are all on, because if you're putting us on a flight back to Darjeeling with this crew, we'd be there in a heartbeat.
But won't you guys agree that shooting in Darjeeling also keeps you calmer? And shooting in Mumbai is more difficult.
Please, he just wants to go back to Darjeeling. One of your please
so
take him back.
I had a, I mean,
So
I was
there's a
just,
new show.
I was just chilling during the time of the shoot. I didn't feel as if I was working, honestly. Also,
Because you weren't.
Guys,
मैं शूट के दिन जू भी घूमने गया था, पता है? मेरा पैकअप इतनी जल्दी हो गया था.
Ma'am, any of yours?
I don't have a specific withdrawal story, but it does happen that, like you work with a bunch of people and the work that we do, sab saath pe khana kha rahe hain, uth rahe hain, baith rahe hain, and then suddenly you don't meet them. And so initially it gave me like a little bit of anxiety because I'm just like, but like I thought we had become friends or a family. But I think after your second, third, fourth film, you realize that no, you are together, and like for example, like both of them, like we don't talk every day or whatever, but I know if whenever I call them and I'll be like, hey, I need this, or what you guys are up to, or blah blah blah, and we'll just be there for each other. And I think that's just how I think the nature of the beast is what our profession is all
Then
about.
once the project is over and you move on to something else, you get involved there, then it's a different family, isn't it?
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Are we all right, or do you want me to prolong this? Or?
We're good, but we really had a great time. So can we please clap for the very, very amazing panel? For Manish sir, for Naveen, for Avantika. Ma'am, but if you could just sit, because there are a couple of questions that I'd like to ask, just because I'd like to ask. That's it. That's the brief. So my first sort of questions are for Huma, Naveen and Avantika, one at a time. And Isle is this dating app जहाँ पे काफ़ी सारे ice breaking questions होते हैं. तो मैं कुछ ice break करना चाहती हूँ ताकि we get to know Naveen a little more. From whatever we know, we aspire to know you more.
I just love how this flirting is happening quite publicly. I fully endorse this.
I'm going to flirt with you also. Matlab, after that, there's Avantika and then there's you.
Love it.
So, yeah. Flirting should be a religion.
Agreed.
And I believe in it completely. Naveen, this one's for you. When you date a person, and if in case that person's a cat person or a dog person, what do you normally prefer? A cat person or a dog person?
Cat person.
Yeah? Huma is shocked. You look like a dog person to me, a camel person. How come you're thinking about a cat? Is there any specific reason you love cats in general, or?
See, I've also lived with cats, and they're easier, according to me, no offense, they're easier to take care of. That's all. And also they don't, I mean, again, no offense, they smell-wise also I like them a little more, yeah. Four-legged cats.
Four-legged cats.
इन्हें
Also-
जंगली
also-
question.
Jungli billiyan pasand hai. Yeah. Jungly, yeah, domestic, either or. I'm going to give you options. Chai or coffee, Naveen?
Coffee.
Mountains or beaches?
Now mountains.
Oh.
Post Darjeeling. Yeah.
Oh.
तीन लड़कियां बहुत ज्यादा तेरे सवालों पे हंस रही हैं, by the way.
हम
They're all
इसके बाद
catchy, this one.
हम इसके बाद बातें कर सकते हैं. अरे उसको तो पूछने दो यार.
It's okay. It's okay. मुस्कुराओ. हंसो, जियो, नवीन से प्यार करो, कल हो ना हो. Okay, the next one for you is what do you prefer as an activity, swimming or badminton?
Badminton.
Soup या sushi?
Sushi.
Okay. That's it. Can we please clap for Naveen? Thank you. मेरा अगला सवाल अवंतिका के लिए है. Avantika, have you ever written a love letter to someone?
Yes.
And can we get the deets of it? Or like, can you give us thoda sa goss, some juice?
No.
I can tell you. I can tell you.
Please do. But do you think you are one of those people who leave tiny notes, like to write things?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did
Yeah.
you see what I left at the end of season 1?
Yeah. So then that is a bit of that. वो अवंतिका है या character हमें पता ही नहीं है. मतलब we will never find out. Maybe in Mithya 2 we will. Right? Huma, ये सवाल आपके लिए है. Opposites attract या similar taste matters. What do you prefer more? Like
Depends on how he smells.
and if he smells good, opposites attract or similar taste matter?
Doesn't matter.
Ah, nice. I'm glad I asked the next question. I'm like, भगवान ने मुझे कुछ important message अब पूछो तो तुम्हें और कुछ मिलेगा. Thank you so much, Huma और अवंतिका के लिए भी तालियां. Now these questions that we have it for all of them. We have it for Sameer sir as well, Manish sir as well, Goldie sir as well, and for all of you. Manish sir, we'll start with you. 3 things you do not compromise when you're investing yourself in a piece of content for Z5.
I think, like I said, the right story,
Yeah.
the right director,
Yeah.
and the right actors. Very
That's
important.
it. Yeah. Because the right audience is always going to get to the right content anyway.
Exactly. So that's a
Great.
package. I mean, you create magic when you have the right team. So that's
Absolutely.
where-
Absolutely. Goldie sir, this question's for you. 3 things you do not compromise while signing an actor or making sure that I need this actor, but 3 things you do not compromise on.
Yeah, in our industry, if you get the right actor, producer compromises on everything.
Lovely. So,
So,
बाकी
yeah.
2 चीजें हम बाजू में ही रख देते हैं.
हाँ यार, मतलब कर ही लिया. मतलब एक तो आधे लोग तो एहसान जताते हैं.
ओहो
तो फिर क्या
समीर
करें?
सर ऐसा लग रहा है आंसू निकल जाएंगे. ये चश्मे के पीछे ये जो आंसू हैं दिखाई दे रहे हैं हमें.
No, on a serious note, I mean, definitely not only actor but any crew member. For me personally, the person is very, very important.
Yeah.
You know, as if it is up to me,
Yeah.
a lot of times it is not up to me. It's up to the market forces as well.
Yeah.
But as far as possible, इंसान अच्छा होना चाहिए और एक वाइब अच्छी होनी चाहिए.
Yeah.
उसके बाद सब हैंडल हो जाता है. you
यार
know.
2024 का मेरे हिसाब से whichever filmmaker that I've worked with, ये इन्होंने 100% कहा है. Energy, vibe, aura has to match, and it's amazing how maybe that existed earlier, लेकिन आज उसका एक शब्द है, and that just is prevalent everywhere. So thank you so much for that answer. Sameer sir, आपके लिए सवाल है. 3 things you do not compromise on when it comes to health.
When it comes to health,
Yes.
that's like really serious.
Please don't remind me of things that I really don't want to talk about. Also, can I please ask that table which is very naughty and beautiful, excuse me, the one who's shouting really loudly, can you WhatsApp message whichever person you're talking to? Because we have people who are very, very esteemed, very respectful on the panel. They've taken out the time so that we can learn something about filmmaking. Sorry, this sounds like a lecture. Back to Sameer sir and 3 things that you wouldn't compromise on your health.
On your health, okay. So I've actually over a period of time I've already done those things. So like
Right.
I've stopped smoking,
Yeah,
which is I think a good thing to do. I'm also told that you got to drink a lot of water.
yeah.
So I'm doing that as well.
It's
And-
cute how you've said this. I'm told.
Why does it sound like a skin routine?
Yeah, actually that's it.
That's it.
Yeah, I
That's it. Superb. Okay. Naveen, this one's for you. 3 things you do not compromise on when signing a script.
Signing a script.
Manish, Naveen, sorry. Okay.
No,
She's
no,
still
this
fixated
for-
on Naveen. Like,
For Naveen, I
have
said
no
Naveen.
chance.
Sorry, the mic was just was acting up. Naughty you, Naveen.
मैंने सुना था but मैंने आपको उठाया नहीं।
3 things you do not compromise on while signing a script. Pen लाल होनी चाहिए.
नहीं रोल
Yeah.
मतलब एक्चुअली लेंथ से फर्क नहीं पड़ता बट कहानी में उसका क्या इम्पैक्ट है
Yeah.
स्क्रिप्ट एंड प्रोड्यूसर
Yeah.
3 things yeah.
Thank you. अवंतिका, ये सवाल आपके लिए है. 3 things you do not compromise on. जब आप एक गाड़ी खरीदती हैं या आपने गाड़ी खरीदी है या आप गाड़ी चलाती हैं, 3 चीज़ों पे आप कौन सा कॉम्प्रोमाइज़ नहीं कर सकती?
I have not thought about this that much, but
Always the first time.
Go from point A to point B.
yes, correct. Point A to point
ऐसी गाड़ी जो चले.
B. Yes.
Okay.
Comfort.
Yeah.
I like an SUV.
Yeah.
Color तो कोई भी करा दूँगी. Mileage.
Mileage.
Let's go for
हाँ.
mileage. Yes.
The Goldie is just producer से mileage important
Mileage
चीज़ है.
important. Mileage is key.
की.
Key.
हुमा जी, अगर 3 चीजें जो आप रोड ट्रिप में डेफिनेटली कभी कॉम्प्रोमाइज नहीं करेंगी, वो
I
कौन
hate
सी?
road trips.
Hate?
I want to just get to the destination as soon as I can. This whole process of sitting in a car, wow, कितना अच्छा mountain है. मैं
दिल चाहता है कि
location
एल्बम
पे
को
जाके
कौन
देख-
सुनेगा फिर?
मैं गोवा जाके गोवा देखना चाहती हूँ. मुझे रोड ट्रिप में कोई इंटरेस्ट नहीं है. Just get me there. I'd rather catch a flight.
ठीक है.
Genuinely, I'm the one passed out with my mouth open with the music in the background. I don't like road
You're
trips.
not the road trip girl. No. Okay. Can we still clap for Huma because she is the girl? Thank you so much for all your answers. Now we've got Fima Carlos Frettini, which is a wall of art. It's luxury fittings, and this very beautiful, gorgeous thing is coming. And just quickly ask all of you कि अगर आपको अपने घर में कोई चीज़ चाहिए होती इनमें से, तो हम कौन से ही लगाते? We'll start with Manish sir. Manish sir.
Will Naveen have to get under the shower?
इनमें से कौन सी लगाते? सारी. All are looking good. All right.
और ये पीने के पानी के लिए है.
Oh.
Or of course, these are the switches for the shower. The shower is really cool. It's amazing. You need to give me a job, Fima. I'm doing a spectacular job at this. तो इनमें से आप कौन सी इंस्टॉल करते हैं अपने घर में?
I think shower looks really cool. with
Yeah.
the buttons.
How about you, Naveen? जी, perfect. Avantika,
The switches, nothing comes on without them.
the switches.
Nothing comes on without them.
That's true. That's so true.
I think Naveen should give us a demo with the shower.
Yeah.
How do we know it really
It's
works?
it's too short for Naveen. I don't think. Maybe another time. Yeah. Also, clothes sometimes can come in the way. Huma.
Was that a question?
Not for you. It was just a passing statement for Naveen. Hanji.
I think they all look great, and anything I'm open to gifts.
Yeah. Bharti ma'am, do you have anything? Any choice of preference? Sure. This one? This one? Yeah, it's cool. And antique at the same time. Bharti ma'am, I think you've got an aesthetic taste. It's lovely. Goldie sir? You're like, देखना है. इधर है.
मतलब okay, I mean whatever, like Huma said, जो गिफ्ट कर रहे हैं ले लेंगे हम लोग.
आप एक बार अपनी आवाज उठा के बताओ आपको क्या चाहिए, वो मिल जाएगा सर. इतना पावर है
अभी
फीमा
एक्चुअली मेरे घर पे मेरा बाथरूम बन ही रहा है, तो
Beauty.
सारी चीजें दे दो, सब आ जाएंगी अभी.
Destiny's got a way. It just works.
You'll post also, na? You'll do a story.
अब हाँ, मतलब वो शायद ज्यादा हो जाएगा हुमा, बीवी मारेगी घर जाके.
Sameer sir, is this what interests you the most because someone's asked you to drink a lot of water in the day?
No, that doesn't interest me at
No.
all. I think the shower.
The shower. Yeah. I think they were excellent sports for answering all these questions really beautifully and honestly. Can we please clap for this very amazing team? Can we also watch Mithya 2, the trailer and otherwise, and make sure that that becomes a part of our lives as well? And can we please call upon the plaques which are going to be gifted by Bharti ma'am to each and every one of you so that you can remember this